Good morning. Happy new day. All the vibes, as you know. We're here for transformation talks. Oh, let me edit this title. um, hey, happy Friday. Oh, Thursday? I don't know what time of the week it is. Um, yes. So, as you know, we meet every Thursday. Today's Thursday at every Thursday at 10:30. I'd be late. I apologize for that. I promise you I'm mastering the art of being on time. But we meet every Thursday morning at 10:30 to talk about spirit, energy, and awareness, right? As far as like growing our businesses, growing our scope, changing our lives and the lives of others. Um, and so I'm Tanisha, also known as Asha, whichever name, both names are my name. And I am a transformation mentor, your favorite internet transformation mentor at that. I help people turn their fear into exponential success quickly. So, in doing that, my personal process is by understanding spirit, energetics, and awareness. Those are the methods that I teach, in addition to strategy, like how to be strategic about it. But the way that I go about strategy is through spirit, energetics, and awareness. And so today's topic for Transformation Talks is an offering to all of you that are here. And I wanted to talk about mastery. Like, this is a word that gets thrown around on the online space often. I've been in my own zone of mastery, and it's the one thing that even when I was meditating, preparing to come to this session, it was the one thing that kept coming up, right? And I thought about my work with the people that I work with, who are the people I work with are entrepreneurs, visionaries, and thought leaders. So entrepreneurs changing the way that we show up, the way that we do things, the way they're innovators, right? They're changing the world. Visionaries changing the way that we live, and then thought leaders changing the way that we think and perceive things. So I was thinking about the people that I serve, the people that are in some of my containers, and this theme kept coming up around mastery and mastering the vision and the work. And how do you do that when you're running a six-figure business, a seven-figure business, or for my newbies, a 4 or 5 figure? How do you manage it in addition to being like all that you have to be as a human and like everything that you have to do for your business, right? And so how do we create spaces of mastery? And so the way that I see this work is through the lens of like, quantum transformation, quantum leaps, those type of things. And it's really interesting what happens to people when you have to ask them to continuously expand, which is how I see mastery. Mastering, self mastery is the willingness to expand yourself through space and time. And that sounds really woo woo, but I'm going to break it down into a few details. So, again, mastery is the willingness to expand yourself through space and time, meaning like which version of yourself are you being? How are you being it? How do you show up to the table? I'm going to adjust Instagram a little bit. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so like how are you being the person that you need to be? How are you showing up to it? And it's been coming up because I've been this week has been a really powerful week for me personally. I've been learning and doing workshops and like really tapping into mastering my habits and my processes. And in my container, Joyful Elevation, it's been coming up as well. And even with my private client, my one-on-one clients that I have, it's been coming up, this mastery. And I had a client break down in frustration the other day because, they were just like, it's too much, like how much more expansion can I be? And I said, well, how much more you is there left? Right? Like being a visionary within itself, being an entrepreneur within itself, being a thought leader within itself, when you're doing work for the benefit of other people, right? It takes a lot to not want to take all those things and hold on to them. Because again, we're changing the way people think, changing the way people live, changing the way people perceive and do, right? And so when you do that, you have to be able to see their problems clearly. But when you can see their problems clearly, you want to like hold on and take their problems with you. And there's like this fine balance between moving the vision forward and not owning any of the energy of what is happening at the same time. It's a very gentle balance. And the way that you do that is by mastering the vision with and within yourself, right? And with and within your companies and with and within the things that you do. And so that means that you have to allow yourself to push the limits of how much you are going to be. Right? That's like my favorite thing I'm going to say is like how much you are you allowing yourself to be at any given point, place and time. And if you aren't allowing yourself a lot of extra like I'm going to be different, I'm going to be kooky, I'm going to be, you know, energetic energetically fun, whatever your signature is, if you're not allowing yourself to do that and to be in those realms, there is always more to be had. And so I hope that's like coming together. So the first thing that I do with people when I experience them experiencing themselves, which is like, okay, Tanisha, there's more for me to do. And I'm like, yeah, there is. There's more for you to have. There's more for you to be. Not really do, but more to be. Um, is I always ask them, how often do you connect with the vision? So we all have these businesses, these side hustles, and these projects, and we just go, 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 right? We're executing, we're on sales calls, we are launching projects, we are in our container servicing people. But how often do you connect to the vision of what you're doing? Like the purpose. And I don't mean just the purpose of like this is what business does, right? But like your greater purpose. Where does the purpose start and end, right? So how often do you sit in silo with you in silence, as I tell people, right? To say, ah, the work that I do is for this reason. And the benefit of the work that I do in the world is this reason. And I can see that clearly. Now let me show up from this place. And if I were to believe this vision, this purpose, I would continue to show up from this place. That's the work of expanding yourself, right? It's always remembering why you started out on this path anyway. Why do you do the work that you do? What is the impact? Who is it going to impact? And what is the like the domino effect of you existing now in time and space to push this work, share your gifts in this way with others? That's the work, right? That's how we first center ourselves around our vision. So when we're talking about mastering who you are, it's about centering yourself with your vision. How much time do you get to center and connect to that? And your ability to hold that amount of space for yourself and what you're doing is going to be so super important because it literally creates the energetic momentum that you need to go out there and continue to be even more yourself, to share your gifts even more, to share your plans even more, to share your solutions even more, to offer even more, to present even more, to launch even more, right? Um, so that. And then the other thing too that after the vision is your ability to like get into a routine, right? Practice a routine. Flex your muscles of like what you are doing and how you are doing it and how can that be expanded. So like I mentioned, before I got on this call, I meditated. I meditate for about an hour each day, and I'm pushing that to go more time to just sit in silence and allow myself to hear, be, feel, do all the things that are important to me. Just sit and listen to what's coming before I act, right? And it has been a deliberate act of slowing down. And so when it comes to mastering your vision and mastering your business, it's about your ability to slow down time and space. Are you willing and able to not only like this is why people are always talking about getting shorter work weeks because what that is really a mastery of space and time. It says that you are so in tune with what you are doing, who you are being, that you are willing to stop time on itself to allow time to exist around you and allow yourself time to connect with you. And so you'll always hear the more people embody their CEO, the higher up the income scale they grow, they're always looking to get back more time. There's a reason. because that time that you can have with yourself, sitting with self, it opens you up to new ideas, new pieces of innovation, more creativity, and it helps again to further the vision. So let me back to step number 1, right? Connect to your vision daily, not the way you see it, but connect to what is the benefit, the domino effect of me existing, doing this in this place in time, right? How will it help the world? How will it help the people? How will it help other people other than myself? And then number 2 is mastering the time, creating as much space and time for you to be creative, to creating as much space and time for you to be innovative. Being a visionary is it can be a lot of work. A lot of us have really lofty purposes, and that's great. But if you can't separate yourself and collapse time on itself, you're kind of like playing with your energy and you're misusing it. That's so nice to know. Yes, taking back control of your time. And so this particular piece, this time piece, is why I teach people. Well, not even teach. I advocate because this. I don't want to limit it to just like in my containers. The only place you're going to hear me say that. No, my background is in operations excellence. You can build the company that you want now. This idea that you have to like work 40 hours plus to be, and then when you get a certain amount of money or you get a certain level, that's when you stop everything. Like that's when you start to scale back. That is backwards thinking. If you are uniquely designed and equipped to work 3, 4 hours a week at the crack of noon to 3 o'clock, that's what you would desire. You need to be doing that now because to this timepiece, it creates the right amount of space and time for you to innovate and create and expand quickly. I will say that again. You need to build it how you see it now because it starts out the gate. You are creating the perfect amount of time and space for you to master now. Because if you are building a company where you're like, I'm grinding, 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 it never shows you, if you take that attitude, you never have as much time as you would like to really innovate your processes. And so what I mean by that is if you start today, you say, okay, I'm gonna start a side hustle, but my goal is to work 3 days a week, and you start to practice that, right? You have so much space and time to be creative and to be innovative. So when you look at your to-do list or your to accomplish or your task, right, and you're like, oh my God, I didn't get all things done. Your innovative space, your creative space is going to activate for you to solve that problem. So the question now becomes, how can I do this so well and still have the time? Okay. So time is going to be very important. That's why everyone wants it back. That's why everyone's goal after they make a certain amount of money is like, oh my God, my time, I'm burnt out. Right. Because you should have built it the way that you saw it from the beginning. You should have practiced that. And then the other thing that I'm going to say is the vision, the time, and then, you know, this, I wasn't going to say this, but I'm going to add it. I don't know, it's coming up. So I'm just going to go with it. Um, I feel the need to tell y'all about y'all spirits. Like, okay. I was on a call yesterday. I was on a tea chat yesterday with someone, and in spirit, the message that came through for this person was to make sure that they pray. Like, stop getting busy and not praying. And that message led me to I was talking to my mom about it. I was like, yeah, this is what happened on this call, whatever. I was just reflecting. And I was like, spirituality. People know that I do spirituality things. People know that I hear, see, whatever spirit. And sometimes people think that when I'm talking to them, my goal is to get them to do what I do. No. Your energy, your mastery of your vision, your mastery of your time is going to be directly tied to what you do. Okay? So you have to master your spirituality. So when people work with me, it doesn't matter what you do. I don't care if you go to church every day. I don't care if you read tarot cards. I don't care if you all into crystal magic. Whatever it is that sustains you, it has to be brought to the forefront. And a lot of times people are rushing to get online, rushing to go live, or rushing to go to the sales call, rushing to do the launch, and you're not taking the time to honor what fuels your spirit. Because again, we all know in this industry, in the coaching space, that you know, motivation is fleeting, happiness is fleeting, drive, it's all these things go up and down, up and down. But what stays constant within us is the energy that we have and the energy that we bring to a thing. And so if you are uniquely designed where like church is like your jam, right? Um Church is like what gets you like, yes, I'm fired up, I said my prayers. As you grow, as you get more wealth, as you grow your business and your team gets bigger and bigger, you are going to have to allow yourself to get bigger and bigger in spirit. Again, not my way. My Tanisha's life, this lifetime for me is designed for me. So what I use is not what you're going to use, but you need to use something. So, another example, I have a client who church is her jam, right? And we are in a space where part of her work with me as like my mentee, my client is like, we now you have to further your study. So they do Bible study with their partner, and then we meet every week to talk about, to allow her space to expand her perspective of spirit, right? To connect with that inherently and innately. And we've only been doing this for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, but I've already seen the changes in how they show up, how they understand the world around them, how they interact, right? And I don't think there's any, I don't think there's any big visionary that's going to tell you that they did it without spirit of some sort. Now, whatever their spirit is different, but like, most CEOs have like a spiritual advisor, an astrologer, a psychic, a pastor, a whatever. Why do these people have all these things? Because they knew that in order to sustain the vision, in order to master their time, they had to be equally attentive to their energy through their spirit, which is what fuels these bodies that we're in. So, yes, connect to the vision every day, refresh yourself, not just for you, but for the benefit of the people that you interact with. Take the time. Take the time, make the time, stretch the time, expand the time, and then fine tune your spirit. What feeds you, what you focus on, and how you show up to partner with God and the spirits and the ancestors, or whatever language and tools apply to you in your path. Do that every day. Flex your muscles, get bigger and bigger and bigger in it so that you have enough energy to sustain what you are bringing into the world. So, yeah. This is good. This is good. I really want to talk about this. And like I said, this all jumped out of me at my meditation. But I kind of knew it was going to be this kind of a week. So that's today's transformation talk. Um, I love the comments. I always go back and read them. I'm going to come back and like comment and respond. If you have any questions or any thing that you're dealing with, or like anything you want to talk about, you can either ask them now before I wrap up, or you can send me a DM or a message. I will respond. A voice note, I will respond. Um, but yes, vision every day, time every day, spirit every day. And I bet you'll see like wild changes in everything that you're doing. So yeah. All right. I'll see you guys later on the internet streets. Be well. Have a great day. And thank you for coming. All right.